Hi everyone, thanks for checking the video out. Steve Buzzer here, and today we are talking about the Lab Golf Broom handle putter. So I have the last few weeks been trying this. I'm actually just borrowing this putter. Someone was very kind to let me borrow it for a few weeks. I have used it on the putting green, I have used it out on the course, and last week I actually played a 27-hole tournament with it. So I've kind of been experimenting and asking the question that we all want to answer: will this help my performance? And if you've watched my YouTube in the past, especially the early days of when I was on YouTube, I'm very reflective of how I used to putt as a kid, in my amateur career, and then when I first turned pro. I used to struggle. Putting and me didn't go together. I was willing to hole putts, but that was something that would not happen. And one of the biggest issues I used to have with my golf game is I would miss a 3-4 footer literally every round. At least one, maybe two. And can you see then that total momentum killer, and then your scores don't really feel reflective of how you've played. So my putting was definitely an issue. Over the last few years, I've definitely got better. Went from really poor to kind of, I could sustain my putting. I would say my putting was not necessarily helping, but it wasn't hindering anymore. You know, it was just stable. Give me an opportunity, if I hit it well, you know, I could post a score. One of the big things I found was I'm left eye dominant, so I needed to kind of learn. I use aim point. Aim point not only helped me with the reads, but I used to be uncommitted to the reads. I wasn't 100% they were right, so I found it actually very hard to commit. So aim point gave me a monkey see, monkey do, just hit it there. So my putting's definitely got better the last few years, but I want to go from average to just kind of sustaining to being great. And you go, look, is this going to be the way to do it? So I feel like this has a lot of potential for me. I have used Lab Golf in the past. I used their Blade version, I've used their Mez 1, and then this is the Direct Force, the DF 2.1. I've used them all. In the short putter, I actually preferred the Mez 1. I think the Mez 1 looks really nice. I putted really well with the Blade. This one, the bigger one, I actually didn't putt as well. And I'm not saying I putted bad, but just relative to the other putters, I felt like this one needed kind of a smoother stroke, whereas I've got a bit more hit to it. So I found the other two resonated a bit more with that. Something that I found out over the years through, you know, where I was lucky is I was a very poor putter, but because I coach full time, I was finding solutions for my students, and I stumbled across solutions for myself. You know, so I was very lucky in that way. One thing that has been very helpful for me is I need the putter very upright, because we all have different points in which we kind of turn around. For me, that point is quite high, so I need my stroke to almost, if you think of a plane, I need it to be kind of off of my shoulders a bit more. Some people are a bit lower. I think that's one reason why I've started to resonate with this one well, is it's pointing up towards kind of my shoulders, where I think my natural plane is. So it's kind of resonated with me very quickly. I tried the Mez 1, and I tried it, and I just in one of the superstores. I didn't like it that much, I'll be honest. I tried something slightly longer. This one is 43.5, and for me, and one of the big differences, and if you look at Lucas Glover and Adam Scott in particular, they look athletic over the ball. Because you're not allowed to anchor anymore, you know, you can get into like an athletic posture even though you're using the broom handle. I think that for me is really, really helped. I tried, like I said, tried one slightly longer, didn't really resonate. This length has felt really good. And then last week I asked for questions for this video on my Instagram. One of the questions was, is it just hype, and is it worth the money? I tried this one with the standard shaft, and just to put it into context, I have the standard shaft in my normal length Mez 1 and really liked it. But the TPT shaft in this broom Definitely feels different. For me, it felt a little heavier. They do different head weights, but this is the standard head weight. Feels a little more heavy, a little more stable, feels a little bit better. And noticeably. So to answer that question, yes, I have the TP shaft. I appreciate it's an upcharge, but for me, I notice a difference. And the other one was okay, but I wasn't like raving about it. This one with the TP T-shaft, all of a sudden, you know, I got excited and went, I think this could become the gamer. I said I've used it on the course. So first things first, I said I used to miss a lot of short putts. And if I'm missing short putts, it kind of is a loss of a full shot. So even when I hole one from distance, all I'm doing is countering a mistake rather than gaining ground on the field or feeling like my performance is being helped by my putting. So I felt really secure short range. I felt really secure on the putting green when I was practicing. When I got out into the course, didn't feel like there was any change. And then when I was playing in the tournament, didn't feel like there was any change. A question I was asked, 10 to 15 feet. I think a lot of people are very interested in that. How good is it from 10, 15, 20 feet? Simply sensational. Biggest change I've ever seen. And again, I can't speak for everyone, but from my personal experience, I have played multiple nines in practice, and then I played 27 holes, so 3 nines in competition. And every single one of those nines, I have holed a 15-footer. And that isn't normal for me. That isn't normal for everybody. And it's not that I was holing putts, because it's cool to hole putts, don't get me wrong. What I'm more excited about is every ball I'm rolling looks like it has a chance to go in. I had a bunch that lipped out, showing how close I'm getting. And that is the exciting bit, because please appreciate, and let's use 8 feet as the example. On tour, 8 feet, the tour pros hole 50% of the time. But please don't take that stat and go, they only roll the ball well 50% of the time, because that's not true. They roll the ball very well almost all the time. There's external factors that stop them going in every time. But if you roll the ball well 50% of the time, I promise you, you're not going to hole 50% of the time. Your stats are going to be significantly lower. So what I've loved from 10, 15 feet is I'm hitting a bunch of putts that look like they're going in. A few lip outs, a few hold, really, really good. That's what I'm most excited about. Like I said, I use aim point. I feel like I can really, if I just keep focusing on my aim point, getting good start lines, take the putter, let's get it rolling, I just feel like I can be dangerous. So I said, can I get from mediocre to great? That is one area that I can do. Stop missing the short ones. That's going to be another one. Other question. You can appreciate I was asked about the short, the medium. Of course, I was asked about the long. The long, I would be lying if I said I felt like I was really good from length, but I felt that this was a new skill, and each time I practice, I feel like it's getting better. The first couple nines I played, I got to test if I was good from 6 to 8 feet. And I did hold them all, but I was putting them to 6 to 8 feet, you know, from distance. Had a couple I rolled short, tried to then overcompensate, hit them long. So I wasn't rolling the ones from distance particularly well. It was great that I was holding them, but again, I don't want that pressure. But even in this short amount of time, you've got to appreciate I've only been doing this for a few weeks. I've seen each time that it's progressing, and I do feel like I will be able to be competent from distance with this putter. So it's not perfect yet, but I feel like it is definitely improving. I had a question, what's it like with the split? I actually like it because this hand now feels like it's not doing anything. Sometimes we talk about like the right hand being active, but obviously the right and the left will sometimes fight. So by being here, I feel like there is no fight. It almost becomes right hand only. One of my issues was my right hand used to get too dominant. But by being here, not having the ability to fight with the hands, I've actually been using a standard grip, or it's standard for me. I was using the claw. I think because the club is more up, I'm able to do that. This feels like it's doing nothing. And now, whereas I'm usually having to suppress the right hand, and the claw is a very good way to let it kind of get involved without feeling like it's been detrimental. But this hand, I just feel like I'm kind of very natural, just kind of throwing the ball, rolling the ball at the hole just with my right hand. I know we talk a lot about shoulders, but if you think if the ball was in your hand, it's not robotic in how a good putter moves. It is a bit more down here. No wrists, but almost in forearm, bit of the upper arm, you can just kind of feel it in there. I feel like I can do that with this one. So I'm really excited. I have one on order, so I will be converting into the Broom. In a few months' time, hopefully they will be talking about the great Lucas Glover winning on tour. Will Zalatoris looking great with the Mez 1 in the Broom. Adam Scott looking great. And then little old me will enter the conversation. Oh, I can't believe how many putts he's holding. So I'm excited. Get some comments down below. Are you somebody that was not a naturally good putter but has found a solution to putting well? Or they've taken control of their putting, whether that is using a broom handle, maybe another technique, whether it's changing the grip, maybe you're using an arm lock, maybe it's something far simpler than that. You know, I'd love to hear what you've got to say. I think too often we're naturally not good at something and then we just accept, oh, I'm great with the driver, putting's not for me. I think I have shown through the years that I was not a natural. Let's just leave it at that. I was not a natural at putting. I was terrible at putting. But I found ways to improve through the years. And I genuinely, this is a huge statement, through my progression with putting, I've gone from being terrible to taking control of it, being very competent. I do feel like, with a bit of practice, and I'm excited to practice as well. That's a nice thing about having something new. A bit of practice. Honing in my aim point, keeping those things in check. This season, I do feel like I can be great. I know, huge statement. I will do follow-ups. So get those questions down below. And as always, stay happy, stay safe, and I hope to catch you soon.